is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, new comic book day is tomorrow, which is August 28th of 2024. So that means this video right here is your Wednesday pull list, which is your hype video for new comic book day. Guys, there are some really good comics coming out this week. 3 of my favorite that are coming out monthly, and they are just so amazing. The top 3 books are like some of the best that are coming out every single month. And it's just so exciting to talk to you guys about these books. We got some amazing covers to talk about. We're gonna go over all the rest of the books on my pull list. All right, guys, let's not waste any more time because I'm sure I'm gonna ramble about a lot of these books. Let's go ahead and get this video started with checking out my pull list. Now, as you guys can see, we're back to another large pull list. It's not as big as last week. I believe last week was 24 total books, but you guys can't see what these books are. So let me go ahead and throw them up on screen right now. Guys, there are a total of 22 books on my pull list. There are 2 new number ones, 6 DC books, 7 Marvel books, and 9 independent titles. Now, I did not read, like I said, 3 of the previous issues to the books that you guys see on screen right now, and those 3 books cannot make the top 3 list. All right, guys, there is 1 book on the chopping block this week, so let's go ahead and find out what book got chopped. All right, so let's start off by saying you will find more and more books hitting the chopping block over the next few weeks or few months, and the main reason is because I have set a budget cap for my spending every single month, and that is $300 on previews. Now, I might spend more money on ratio covers and beyond, but my previews cap is going to be $300 moving forward, and this month, before I made the chop down to $300, I was at $368. So I had to cut about $70 worth of books, and this one right here that is being chopped this week is Ultimate X-Men. Now, I'm chopping this for 2 reasons. 1, I don't find the story very good. I find it a little hard to follow, a little confusing, and I'm just not enjoying the dialogue that much. I just overall don't think it's a very strong book, so that is the main reason why I'm chopping it. But also, I'm chopping it for budgetary reasons. Now, I'm still gonna pick up amazing covers like this one. This one is so fantastic. I'm sorry about the glare. So if you see this book show up on the pull list again, it is most likely because it has an awesome freaking cover. But overall, Ultimate X-Men is being chopped because the story isn't very good. All right, guys. That is the book that was on the chopping block this week. Let's go ahead and move over to something a lot more positive and a lot more fun with my cover lover picks. All right, guys, this first cover I actually found out about from the Discord. Guys, there's a link down in the description below. If you guys haven't joined yet, I would highly suggest you guys join. There is a fantastic group of people talking about comics every single day. So if you really enjoy comics and you want to be part of a growing community that is the Bruce and Stephanie community, join that Discord, link down in the description. Now, Mr. Santos in the Discord actually posted this first, and it is a great cover. This is Grimm Fairy Tales issue number 87. This is the cover D, done by Ivan Tao, and this just looks like the Wicked Witch, but a very sexy Wicked Witch, and it's really good. Now, Ivan Tao can be hit or miss. I still think her neck is a little long and her face is a little weird, but overall, I still really enjoy this cover, and yes, I will be picking it up this week from mycomicshop.com. All right, guys, next up is a great cover. This is the Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 4, with the cover C, which is a wraparound cover done by one of my favorite artists in Ben Caldwell. It's fantastic. Now, I only have the front cover right here, but let's go ahead and find the wraparound. I'll put that up on screen right now, and this is just a great cover. If you like Ben Caldwell's art, you will really enjoy this one as well. Now, the one downside about this book is that it is a prestige format book. So, it is that big magazine-style book, but I could not pass this up. Ben Caldwell is such an amazing artist. Now, guys, next up is a really cool cover. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Black, White, and Green, issue number 4, with the cover A, done by Patrick Gleason. How cool is this cover? It is so freaking cool. It's Patrick Gleason who does amazing artwork, and this cover is just, I don't know, it is really, really good in my opinion. Now, guys, next up is Venomverse Reborn, issue number 3, with the 1:25 ratio variant, done by Ryan Brown. Ryan Brown on the Venomized T-Rex is just a match made in heaven. This cover is so good. I'm definitely gonna try to score this, especially if it's like 10 bucks. 10 bucks, it's gonna be added, it's gonna be ordered, and it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. All right, guys, next up is Phases of the Moon Knight, issue number 1, with the variant cover in the 1 in 50 Virgin variant done by Derek Chu. It's just a really good cover. I like Derek Chu the most when the characters that he's drawing have masks on, so you don't have to see the facial features of their face, because that's where I think Derek Chu struggles the most. But this cover right here is really good. I'm not picking up the 1 in 50, but I am going to pick up this variant cover. All right, guys, next up, the final issue of Gotham City Sirens, issue number 4, the cover C, the variant cover done by Ji Hung Lee. This is the last issue of that amazing cover set done by Ji Hung Lee. First we had Catwoman, next we had Harley Quinn, then Poison Ivy, and finally we get this awesome cover with Punchline. Such a great cover set. All right, guys, next up is another cover for Gotham City Sirens issue number 4. This is the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Tirso Cons. Now, I did show this in the Discord. A lot of people did not like it, surprisingly enough. I really, really like this cover. We got the 3 main Gotham City Sirens of Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Catwoman as children, like living in like an RV. I think it's really stinking cool. Guys, let me know what you think about this cover down in the comments below. All right, guys, next up is an awesome cover. This is Spider-Gwen the Ghost Spider issue number 4 with the variant cover in the 1 in 50 Virgin ratio variant done by Ji Hung Lee. This is gorgeous. This is probably my favorite cover of the week. There's the Ryan Brown Venomverse, which is really stinking cool, but this one by Ji Hung Lee is really good. Like, really good. If the 1 in 50 ratio is low enough, I'll consider picking it up. But considering that I'm going to try to pick up the Gotham City Sirens 1 in 25, the Venomverse 1 in 25, and that other one, there's just so many ratios I'm going to try to pick up this week. This has to be really low for me to like actually try to pick it up. Probably like 15 bucks. But probably not going to be there because we're on issue 4 of Spider-Gwen. So most likely this will probably be 25 and above, and I'm going to pass. All right, guys, next up is Aliens vs. Avengers issue number 1 with the variant cover done by Scotty Young. Now, the artwork itself isn't really good, but if you read the bubbles, it's so good, like so good. Now, Captain America is saying, on a scale of Absorbing Man to Thanos, how much of a problem is this? And then Captain Marvel says, I'm going to be honest. We're zipping right past the Mad Titan and landing somewhere near Galactus. That is just so good. Face hugger on Captain America. That would be terrible. And then Captain America has the big alien popping out of his chest. Disgusting. Aliens are so scary. All right, guys. Next up, we have Zatanna Bring Down the House, issue number 3 with the cover C in the 1 in 25 Virgin ratio variant done by Tula Lote. It's fantastic. Zatanna, Lote, brought together with a match made in heaven. It is just so, so good. All right, guys, next up is a really cool cover. This is Green Arrow issue number 15 with the cover B variant cover done by Torrin Clark. Now, I'm a huge Green Arrow fan. I love Oliver Queen so much as a character, and I think they're doing him dirty right now, like so dirty. I hope this turns around because seeing Oliver Queen as a villain is just so disappointing. I don't like it at all, but this cover right here is just so, so good. All right, guys, next up is X-Men issue number 3. Obviously, this cover was going to be on the cover level list. This is the Rogue variant in the 1 in 100 Virgin ratio variant done by J. Scott Campbell. Is he going to have one for every single issue up to like issue 10 or something featuring all of the X-Men? I wouldn't hate that because they're so good. I believe issue number 4 has Emma Frost on the cover, but this one with Rogue is really good. All right, guys, next up is an exclusive cover. This is the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 56 with the Unknown Comics exclusive done by one of my favorite artists right now, Alexander Lozano. This cover with Black Cat with a bunch of little white kitties around her is so adorable and so good. Now, I am going to wait for there to be a big sale over at Unknown Comics, and then I'll scoop up this in the Virgin variant because I believe the straight dress is 15 and the Virgin is 30. I'll wait until there's like a 50% off sale and scoop them both up at the same time, but this is so good. All right, guys, my favorite cover of the week, and this is the final cover on this long cover level list, is Detective Comics issue number 1088 with the cover E, which is the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Sebastian Fumera. This cover, featuring Mr. Freeze, is so stinking good. And with me being the huge Batman fan that I am, I could not pass this up. This is definitely going to be purchased. I don't care how much they're charging for it. No, actually, I do care. If they're charging more than 25, I'm going to pass on it. But if this is like, you know, around $10, which I think it will be because Detective Comics is one of the most ordered books, so they'll order a lot of copies over at mycomicshop.com, which will most likely bring this cover in at about $10 on tomorrow on New Comic Book book day. So make sure you guys are going over to my comic shop, putting it on your want list, so that way they will email you once this book is uploaded to their site and you can purchase it, because that's what I do to all these 125s. So I'll put them all on my want list today, so that way when they are active and available to be ordered, you can do that right away. All right, guys, that is the last book on my cover lover list. Let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which are the new number ones that I think you guys should be excited about. Before we dive into those new number ones, I just gonna ask you guys a quick favor. This is gonna be like 10 seconds of your life. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. It helps the channel out so much, and I would really, really appreciate it. And that's it, guys. All right, guys, let's check out those new number ones. All right, guys, there are two new number ones on my pull list this week. One I'm kind of excited about. The character that it's focusing on is the reason why I'm picking it up, because I really enjoyed that character right now, and the other book is written by one of my favorite writers right now. So I'm definitely picking up that one, and that is the book that I'm most excited about, and we'll talk mostly about that. But the first new number one is Phases of the Moon Knight issue number one. Now this is coming from the writer of Erica Schultz and has art by Manuel Garcia. Now this book is going to feature two stories. One is going to be about Mark Spector, and the second one is going to be about a Moon Knight from the old Crusades, which is, you know, I guess could be exciting. Now, I do believe the next issue is not going to be written by Erica Schultz. It's going to be written by another creator. I'm just going to go down. Yes, the next issue is actually written by Jed MacKay. So this book, Phases of the Moon Knight, is going to rotate through creative teams. So it's kind of going to be like almost like an anthology type of story, because we're going to get a new story with every single issue. I just love Moon Knight as a character right now. Jed MacKay has had me totally fall in love with this character, so I'm really excited to see some history, some past, and some new stories featuring this character. Now, this first issue does have some pretty cool covers. There is a really cool variant cover done by Andrea Brenson. There is that awesome Derek Chu cover, which is a variant in a 1 in 50 Virgin. There is a really cool Rod Reese design variant, and then the incentives are a really cool 1 in 25 Stephanie Hans, the Virgin 1 in 50 by Derek Chu, and then the 1 in 100 is lazily the 1 in 25, but as a Virgin. So that isn't great, but guys, the next book is really fun. So let's go ahead and talk about that one, which is the second new number one on my pull list. And this is Aliens vs. Avengers issue number one. Now, why you guys should be excited about this book? Because when I first saw it, I'm like, oh my God, cash grab. Why do we need this? Why do we need to have an Alien vs. Avengers book? But then you see who the writer is, and the writer is Jonathan Hickman. And then I was like, okay, sign me up, because I need to read this book now. His writing style is just one that can engage you really quickly into a really cool story. Like, I really enjoyed like everything he's writing right now. And the art is by Asad Ribic, which is like an awesome artist. So we have an awesome writer and an awesome artist on this book. So let's go ahead and read this very brief synopsis. Aliens and Avengers face off. It's all led to this. Xenomorphs reach Earth. The perfect organism meets a planet of superhumans. Who will be the first to fall? Legendary collaborators Jonathan Hickman and Asad Ribic cut loose in this 4-part epic, unmissable for the Marvel and Alien fans alike. Yeah, I am really excited to see what Jonathan Hickman is going to do with this and how many heroes are going to die by the Xenomorphs. Now, there are some pretty cool variant cards for this. I really like the Scotty Young. There is a JTC, I don't know what they're calling it. I'll put it up on screen for you guys to know, but there is a JTC cover. There is a 1 in 25 by Tony S. Daniel, which is pretty good. And then there is another cover. I don't know who the artist is. I'll make sure that's up on screen as well. But it's really cool. It's at Venom attacking a Xenomorph, and I think Venom would take apart a Xenomorph personally, but we'll see. All right, guys, those are the two number ones that are on my pull list, and I really think you should consider picking up Aliens vs. Avengers because it's written by Jonathan Hickman. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into the top 3 books that I think you guys have to be picking up this week because the stories are simply the best coming out this week. All right, guys, the book that's in the number 3 spot is an independent title, and every single book on the top 3 list this week is an independent. They were all so good. All 3 of these could be a number 1 book in a specific week, but I had to put them in order, so this one right here is in the number 3 spot. It is The Sacrificers issue number 11. Now, this is coming from the amazing writer of Rick Remender and has art by Andrea Lima. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, so I'm not even going to try it. But guys, this book is told so beautifully. I'm going to try to quickly give you guys a very short and brief synopsis of the previous 10 issues. And I read issue number 10 yesterday, and it was unbelievably good. But I want to kind of give you like a high-level idea of what the story is if you haven't read any of it before. So, The Sacrificers focuses on basically two types of people. This is four, so two types of people. The gods, who are like, they're gods. They're overseeing all the people and all the planets and all the things. And then there are the regular people, but they have to sacrifice one of their own to the gods every single year. And that is how the gods stay young and fresh, is through these sacrifices. You don't know that at the very beginning, so I am spoiling a little bit of the story for you. But then the story really focuses in on one of the sacrificers, which is like this bird-like guy. He's a humanoid, but he has a bird for a head and like feathers and claws and stuff. And then it focuses on one of the children of the gods. And then it really just tells like this beautiful tale of this kid who almost dies, and then like he gets these powers and he's able to fight back. And then this goddess who loses all of her powers, and now she's like lower than low. She's like scum of the earth, because she is so just like down and out. And this story, I believe, is going to be how this character, the sacrificer, even with all this power, he doesn't want to be like one of the gods. And then it's going to be about this goddess feeling the low of the low, and like seeing the people as who they truly are. They're not just like, worshipers. They're real things, and the believers of them. And she's going to go through like this whole emotional change. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. And issue number 10 really set up the goddess's story so well. Each issue kind of does focus in on one of the characters, either the goddess or the sacrificer, and it is told so beautifully well. I'm really loving this story. The artwork is amazing. The pacing is amazing. How it's being told is so great. And I really love this idea of like taking this sacrificer and lifting him up and like showing him the world of like godlike powers, and then taking this goddess and bringing her down and like bringing her lower than low, and seeing how they react to their situations. It's amazing. It's so great. Now there is one variant cover for this. It is a 1 in 10 cover B done by Mike Hawthorne. It's pretty good, but overall, guys, you guys should be picking up this book. If you haven't picked up the previous 10 issues, go pick them up. There are some great variant covers, there are some great cover A's, and this story is totally worth your time. But if you don't want to go back and pick up all those issues, you can just wait for 2 more issues. Well, actually 1 more issue, because issue number 12 is the last issue of this full run. All right, guys, that is the number 3 book. Let's go ahead and find out what the number 2 is. All right, guys, the number 2 book is another independent, obviously, because I told you all 3 are independents. And the number 2 book is Gromit's issue number 4. I read number 3 yesterday, and it was so nostalgic. This book is like punching you in the gut over and over again with nostalgia, and it's hitting so hard, but so good. It's like the best gut punch ever. Now, this is also written by Rick Remender, but also has a companion writer of Brian Posen. This has art by Monero Dionisio and Brett Parsons. And guys, this book is incredible. Incredible. If you grew up in the 80s, this is just like pure nostalgia. In issue number 3, there was this part. It basically focused on the 2 main characters skipping school and smoking pot for the first time. And they smoked it out of a old soda can. And that is how I smoked pot for the first time, was out of this old soda can where we took a nail and poked holes in it, and then we smoked it like hiding in the woods. They didn't hide in the woods, they hide in the back of a mall in Gromit's, but it was like so much nostalgia, and that feeling of being high for the first time and hungry, and just like everything was like spot on. And like I love these 2 main characters' interaction with girls, because it's so cringeworthy, and it's exactly how I remember talking to girls for the first time. I was such a klutz. I liked girls so much, and I would go up and talk to them and like just completely ruin it. But it's how things happened when you were a kid, and it was so well told in this story. Now, the art by Brett Parsons and Monero Dionisio is freaking incredible. Like, so good. Their panel layouts are amazing. Their line work, everything about this book, the character designs is just so perfect. It's funny. Oh yes, and the writing by Rick Remender and Brian Posehn is like the best. The slang they use is exactly like how everyone spoke back then. It's raunchy. It's how kids talk to each other. When I hear my 14-year-old son talk to his friends, it's so disgusting. I'm like, why would you talk like that? But that's how you talk when you're a kid, and this book just nails it on the head. It's so great. It's so great. Now, there is a variant cover for this, or actually two variants. One's a retailer exclusive. The other one is a cover B, 1 in 10. Now, these 1 in 10s have been selling like crazy on the secondary market. I shouldn't say like crazy. They sell well on the secondary market. But this one, I'm not sure if it's going to, because I don't love this 1 in 10. I could be wrong. I do like the retailer exclusive. It is from Tin Baron, the Arcade Comics, Minor Threat, Homage, Virgin variant. I think that one is really good in my opinion. So I'll have a link for that down in the description below. But guys, if you aren't reading this book, definitely pick it up. It's only a 7-issue mini, so we only get 3 more issues, 4, 5, 6, 7, actually 4 more issues, including the one that's coming out this week. So pick it up, enjoy it, especially if you want like a good gut punch of nostalgia. All right, guys, let's go ahead and find out what the #1 book is this week, because if it's better than Grommets, it better be freaking good. All right, guys, the #1 book this week, obviously, is filled with a love story. I know I'm a sucker for love stories. I'm a sucker for nostalgia. I'm just a sucker for really good stories. And this one right here, The Hunger in the Dusk, Book 2, Issue 2, Issue #1 was so good. I read it yesterday, and it was just like, this book is back finally after a very, I wouldn't say short hiatus. I want to say it was gone for like 2 or 3 months, but I am so glad this book is back. Now, this is written by G. Willow Wilson. It has art by Christian Wildgoose. Everything about this book is incredible. Everything. The artwork, the layouts, the colors, all so good. And it's beautiful to look at. I love all the character designs. I love how the orcs look, and the Vangold. The Vangold are the bad guys. The humans, the swords, the action, everything about the visual style of this book is great. It's so great. Now, the storytelling by G. Willow Wilson is like, I don't even know. It is so good. I do think in this last issue, issue #1 of book 2, was a little rushed, because the main point in issue #2 was to take the human male, which was falling in love with the orc princess that was forced into his group. They were forced apart. I want to say forced apart, but they kind of got in an argument, and she left mad at him, and he was mad at her. And then they brought in this new character to fill in that void as a healer, because the orc girl was a healer. And they were putting her in as a love interest, this new human healer. And she threw herself at Cal. And Cal realized for a moment that it was like, oh, I like this. And this is good. But then he was like, wait, no, this is wrong. I'm in love. And I was like, yes, yes. They're going to go get Tara, and it's going to be amazing. Tara is the orc princess. It is just, I love it. I love that they're not abandoning that love story, and it's going to go on. He's going to go on this epic quest to find her, bring him back to his group, and it's going to be this blossoming love, and it's going to be incredible. This book is all about budding love, and it's so great. It's not even about budding love, because there's another characters. The father and mother of the orc princess are deeply in love, and there's been a couple issues where they focused on them a little bit, and they're just so incredibly in love, and it's so good. This book is just, it's so good, guys. And I also loved in issue #1 of book 2 that his whole group of the Last Man Standing kept on mentioning to him, like, hey, if we had Tara, this wouldn't be happening. Hey, if we had Tara, this person wouldn't be dying right now because she'd be able to heal them. Oh, hey, if we had Tara, this reason. So they were constantly reminding him of the mistake of him pushing her away. And it was like, yes, yes, keep reminding him, bring back her. And then they brought in this girl healer, and she threw herself at him, like I said, and he just like was like, no, I'm in love. Get out of town. So good. So the artwork is incredible. The story is amazing. The pressure of the Vangold, which are the bad guys, is really starting to like really put the pressure on the humans and the orcs alike. The alliance between the orcs and the humans is very brittle right now. It could break down at any moment. There's a great moment in issue #1 where it almost truly fell apart. The orcs and humans almost started fighting again. I'm all over the place, and I'm sorry. You guys probably cannot even follow what I'm talking about, but just know this story through book 1 was 6 issues of just pure amazingness. setting up this alliance between the orcs and the humans and really showing how evil the Vangold are. That was great. That whole thing and the budding love story between Cal and Tara. And then at the end, it falling apart. And now in book number 1, it's just starting on the quest to bring that love back. So good. And Kristen Wildgoose's artwork, like I said, is so great. Have I told you enough? Have I sucked you in? I really hope I have. There is one variant cover for this. There's normally 2, but there's just one. It's by Cliff Chang. It's okay. I don't love the covers for this series, but overall, this book is a must-have pickup in my opinion. It's so great. It's so great. So if you haven't read Volume 1, pick it up in trade, and then pick up Book 2 in singles. You guys will thank me. All right, guys, that is the number 1 book. Now we got to cover the not top 3, but the books you got to see. All right, guys, I'm actually running out of time to be able to record this video. I have about 5 minutes left. So I'm gonna go through these as quickly as possible, giving you guys little nuggets of information for each one. All right, guys, first up is Batman Offworld issue number 5. Issue number 4 came out like months ago. So I know I'm really enjoying this book as a whole. It's written by Jason Aaron, art by Doug Menke, and it's a really fun book where Jason Aaron has put Batman out in space for the first time ever, and it's a really cool space odyssey adventure with Batman. All right, guys, next up is Batman Brave and the Bold, issue number 16. I did not read issue number 15. That is one of the books that I did not read, so I cannot comment on this book, but these covers by Simon DeMeo are so great. Next up, Detective Comics, issue number 1088. There's 2 more issues of Ron B's run, and then Tom Taylor's picking up the book, and that's when I will start reading Detective Comics again. So right now, I'm just picking this up so I have the full run of Detectives, but guys, don't forget about that 1 in 25 Mr. Freeze cover. It's so good for this issue right here. Next up, Green Arrow, issue number 15. This book is okay, but you can definitely tell that Joshua Williamson is not putting his full self into this book, because he came out and basically said that he's doing too much. He needs to whittle down the books that he's writing. So he's cutting Green Arrow, he's cutting Batman and Robin, and I believe he's cutting one other book at DC Comics so he can focus more on the books that he really enjoys writing. And you can really tell that he's not putting it all in this book. I'm still enjoying it, but it's not great. All right, guys, next up is Hello Darkness, issue number 2. I did like the Something is Killing the Children story that is in this issue. There's going to be a short Something is Killing the Children story in the first 6 issues. And that was really it. This is an anthology book. It has gorgeous cover A's, but outside that, I don't know if I'm going to continue picking this up. I might cover buy this book, but the interiors I really did not enjoy that much. All right, guys, next up is King Spawn, issue number 37. I love all the Spawn books right now, and King Spawn continues to be a very solid read. Issue number 36 featured him getting this new suit by a tinkerer, and also helped sew him up because he got damaged a lot. It was really cool. I really enjoyed that issue. King Spawn, definitely pick it up. Next up, Nemesis Rose Gallery, issue number 2. Issue number 1 was okay. I didn't love it. I think I didn't like it as much as the last run because it did not have Jorge Jimenez as the artist. The artist in this one, I totally forget who his name is, but I don't know. The art wasn't for me. It is written by Mark Miller, which the story was super solid. It's basically about an evil Batman, which is pretty cool. All right, guys, next up is The Nice House by the Sea, issue number 2. Overall, the first issue was okay. The twist at the end of issue number 1 was fantastic. I cannot wait to see where this is going to go in the future. All right, guys, next up is NYX issue number 2. I did not read issue number 1. It was on the bottom of my pull list because people down on the Discord said it was not very good. So I wasn't super excited to read it after hearing the negativity behind it, but I am going to read it before issue number 3 comes out. I'll read issues number 1 and 2 back to back. So hopefully the story is great because I love Laura Kinney. All right, guys, next up is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 40. This book continues to be just a home run. I believe issue number 40 is the start of the next big story arc, and issue number 39, which is the book that I read yesterday, was the last single issue book, and it was so great, or I should say one shot, because I think the last 5 issues were all one shots, and they were all fantastic. So guys, if you like Something is Killing the Children, issue number 40 is probably a great jumping in point if you've skipped over the last few. All right, guys, next up is Spider-Gwen the Ghost Spider, issue number 4. I did not read issue number 3. Again, a lot of the people are saying in the Discord, and I believe the people in the Discord, because these are my peoples, that it hasn't been a great read, so I wasn't really excited about it. So I will give this book probably a few more issues because I love the Mark Brooks cover A's. They're so great. And I'll probably continue picking this book up for covers if it can fit within my budget. Otherwise, it's going to be Chop chopped. All right, guys, next up is Universal Monsters Frankenstein issue number 1. I'm excited for this, but I'm not like overly excited about this because I don't know the writer all that well. It's being written by Michael Walsh. Now, I don't know too much about Michael Walsh. I believe I have written some stuff from him in the past, but I have enjoyed this Universal Monster mini stories because they're 4-issue minis, and they've all been pretty fun, and they all are focusing on a really cool big monster character, which is really cool. All right, guys, next up is Void Rivals issue number 12. This is a must read if you're reading the Energon universe. So if you're reading any of the G.I. Joe books or Transformers, pick this up. This is a piece of the puzzle for the Energon universe, and it is so great. So great. All right, guys, next up is X-Force issue number 2. Issue number 1 was okay. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great. It was okay. I'm excited to see where this book is going to go. Having Forge as the leader of this team is a little weird, but overall, I did enjoy this book, and I haven't enjoyed a lot of X-Men books in the past, so I'm excited to see where this book is going to go. Next up is X-Men issue number 3. Some great variant covers. The story of issue number 2 was so-so. I liked issue number 1 a lot better, but it is written by Jed MacKay, so I'm going to give this at least 2 story arcs to see where this story is going to go as a whole. Normally, I'd only give you 1, but Jed MacKay, you're part of my heart now. Moon Knight and Doctor Strange are such great stories. All right, guys, the last book to talk about is Zatanna, Bring Down the House, issue number 3. I read issue number 2 yesterday. This story is amazing. So good. This is not just a cover buy. It's a great story, and I don't have time to go into it because I'm actually over 2 minutes, not 3, 2 minutes over my recording time. So pick this book up. It's so great. Those are all the books on the not top 3, but the books you got to see. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, we are at the end of today's video, and I gotta thank you guys. If you guys stuck around for all my rambling, we're like 30 minutes in, I'm sure, at this point, because I talked so much, especially about The Hunger in the Dusk. That book is so good. But I really appreciate the support, and if you guys have not smashed that like button just yet, do me a favor and smash that like button. And if you guys are still watching right now, I'm just gonna say, you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much. Now, one last thing. If you guys watch that video and you guys enjoy comic book content, but you're not subscribed, do me a favor. Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. All right, guys, I'll be back on Thursday with my final order cutoff, recommendations, and speculations video. All right, guys, have yourself a great new comic day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.